The year was 1912, and it was the January 14th murder of Charles Norman Hadley that sparked a racial conflict here in West Georgia that national media was equating with a full-scale race war. Now, Charles Hadley, in his day and age, was known as a notorious predator of black women, as well as a near-penniless playboy cowboy. But because it was a good old boy system in this county, and this county was very poor, far from Atlanta, near the Alabama border, a lot of people here were black tenant farmers and moonshiners. It was a fairly lawless place, and Hadley was the nephew of the sheriff. So the sheriff, maybe a little bit of blood feuding involved, identified 4 black people, 3 men and 1 woman. One of the men was actually a mixed-race cousin of Charles Hadley, and it was the first time that a black woman had been lynched anywhere in the Deep South for seemingly no reason. And the sheriff, of course, brought these 4 people in for questioning at the county jail, but they never were under arrest, and on January 22nd, a mob of 100 people broke in and lynched them in front of the sheriff. Now, throughout the years and in the months after this incident, there would be racial tension, especially in Georgia, which would come to a head in September of that year with the race war just north of Atlanta, where the Night Riders came in and literally depopulated a black community, either sending them away or killing them. And we don't know how many people died, but it could have been dozens. And these conflicts would escalate up until the Red Summer of 1919 and 1918, where hundreds of people around the country died, most infamously at Tulsa, but in smaller conflicts elsewhere. Now, Hadley is a small figure in this, but at the time he seems to have been given the largest grave in this remote cemetery, not even on Google Maps. And I think it's a fascinating moment in Georgia history that's forgotten. A blood feud, a feud among the poor people as far away from the state seat of power as you could possibly get, buried now here in the middle of the woods in Harris County. Here is the Harris County Sheriff's Department nowadays. Of course, it's changed a lot over the years, and up until a few years ago, under Sheriff Mike Jolly, there was a sign here that said, "This county is politically incorrect. We say God bless America. We salute the troops and stand for the flag." Kind of interesting how the political shifts of these counties go over the years. And the prison center, the prison area, is right over here across the road. Of course, that is new as well, but it might actually be built on top of the old prison that the lynching occurred at. And you can see here the mountains that would have surrounded this county, which would have been filled with moonshiners back in the early 1900s.